Gloria who? Tony Soprano has moved on. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's time for another Sopranos review. This time, season 4, episode 8. This one is called Mergers and Acquisitions. And at this point, Tony Soprano should probably just merge all his Gomar acquisitions into one, because he just seems to move from woman to woman. We've spent basically the beginning of season 4 him showing some sort of fake remorse, fake guilt for Gloria's death, and in this episode he doesn't give a shit about that. He moves on, he finds another woman, and I'm kind of sick of this Tony Soprano show where he just meets these different Gumars, and there's like 4, 5, 6 different fucking scenes every episode with them just in a hotel room. Offers absolutely nothing, just having sex for the sake of it. Doesn't advance the story, doesn't do anything. I mean, we had one episode or 2 episodes ago where he attacked a made man because he was sleeping with Tony's fellow former Russian girlfriend. And
it wasn't a made man, congressman,
made man, same shit. And Tony Soprano, he viewed that as an insult, he viewed that as a betrayal, and maybe somehow in the sick mind of Tony, I was going to say Tony Soprano, he decides, I don't know, the way to make that better is to basically do it on one of my guys and steal Ralph's Gumar. I didn't really like this episode. I thought it was basically Tony just finding, it's like copy and paste. I mean, do we need to see it every season and a new Tony with a new chick?
No, we don't need to see every season, and I'm just losing patience with this show again. I mean, second time watching it, your first time watching it, and it's like, what are we doing here? Is this a TV show or is this a comedy? Dark comedy? Well, no, what are we doing? See, in terms of actual story, what's the game plan? Paulie's mum moves into a care home. We've seen that with Tony's mum.
And also, why
3 seasons ago?
Why did all the women find Tony Soprano irresistible? It's not like they know how much money they've got. It's not like every woman knows that he's
the Don.
He's the Dom. Like, I mean, the Don. Like, what? I don't get it. Like, why do all these women just throw themselves at Tony Soprano?
Yeah, I mean, he's out of shape.
I just don't get it. Like,
he's fat.
I just don't. He's not got the greatest personality. Like, I mean, he laughs at fucking kids jokes for 8-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, Valentina liked that quite a lot.
Yeah, so we start off with...
Let's just wrap up Paulie's mum, right? Then we'll move on to Tony.
Yeah, so Paulie puts his mum into a care home. I guess she's getting older and he sold their house. Money must be tight. He's basically sold his mum out, sold the house, moved her on, puts her into like this housing place. And none of the women want to be friends with Paulie's mum because it turns out she's a bit of a cunt. A bit like Paulie. She's not very likeable. And Paulie's not happy about this, so he speaks to one of the women's sons that he went to school with.
Big Chucky.
He wants to resolve this. He basically says, look, you got to tell your mum to be friends with my mum, which is kind of embarrassing. Long story short, they don't want to be friends with Paulie's mum, and Paulie ends up sending a couple of his guys to go and rough him up, and then he has to kind of force his mum to be friends with Paulie's mum. But do we really care whether Paulie's mum has friends in some sort of retirement home? I don't.
No, it's filler. I mean, like, this did more for Paulie's mum than it did for Paulie, and who cares about Paulie's mum? We don't care. I mean, honestly, what are we doing here?
Now, maybe I don't pay enough attention, but this is the first time I can remember seeing Paulie's mum in the show.
No, we've seen her before, but I mean, I'm not going to lie and pretend it was in like a major scene. Like, what does this achieve? This is filler. We've got a 57-minute episode, right? And this Paulie's mum stuff probably took up about, like, 20 minutes. No need. Yeah, was it funny early in the episode when he was talking to Tony in the car and Tony's like, shut the fuck up, Paul, everyone gets old and dies. Don't need to hear about it.
Yeah, Paulie is basically trying to get more money out of Tony. This whole episode was pretty much about Paulie's mum trying to settle in a retirement home and Tony deciding whether or not he wanted to be with Valentina. That was pretty much it. One minute Tony's like, oh no, I like Valentina. The next minute, oh, I can't do this to Ralphie. Then it's fuck Ralphie. Then it's, no, I can't do this. I need to be loyal. Then it's fuck Ralphie. But then it's, oh no, I've already stole a horse off him, so I can't steal his Gumar. And then it's, nah, fuck Ralph. As long as he doesn't actually have sex with her, then I'm not really stealing her. And it's like, what the hell? Make up your mind, Tony. I mean, the fuck? One minute he insults her by saying, I basically compares her to a horse, and then when he decides he wants to be with her, she just drops everything and rides like 4 fucking hours to come and see him, the irresistible Tony Soprano. Like,
the big TS.
I just don't get this show. I don't see how people can say it's the greatest show of all time. I'm sitting watching the majority of these episodes and I'm just bored. There's some good scenes, I'm not going to deny that, right? I think there's some really good scenes, but overall, every episode seems to be like an hour long, and probably a good 40 minutes, 45 minutes of it is kind of boring filler.
No, it's nothing happened. No, this episode was a waste of my time. Waste of my time. Nothing happened. Same with the last episode. No, last episode was about the buildings, and they bought it and they sent the black guys in. They shot it up and the guy gets shot in the ass or whatever, the balls. I can't even remember what he gets shot in. But
And where's the follow through?
Yep.
Did they follow up in that?
Nope.
No, they don't. That it's like it's almost like standalone. It kind of reminds me of like Supernatural. It was like one episode would finish, and then whatever happened would have nothing to do with the rest of the show.
Yeah, like he throws a bit of water over Carmela, right? Trying to like play these childish games that he was playing with Valentina, but she goes, "Oh, you made a promise to me on our wedding, fucking," and he's like, "I thought I was having fun." So yeah, obviously his marriage is no fun, but we knew this. We didn't need like you know what, right? Tony should just divorce her.
Aye, take his money.
Yeah. Oh, I just don't get it. This show, fuck. See these people, man, that bum like Tony. You know what? Is he funny? Is he iconic? I've never denied that. But see these people that bum like this show, like butter wouldn't melt. It's fucking pish. See if you're being truthful. I don't see how this episode gets above a 5 at best.
We didn't see Junior in this. We barely got to see any of Chris and Silvio. We've seen them like a couple of times, but they didn't have prominent roles.
Yeah, like Tony wants to start moving, obviously, things through Chris and Sil, but then when they start doing their own stuff, he berates him and is like, no, how the fuck are we doing that? That's what I wanted to avoid. Like, he wants to go through them, right? So he never has incriminating discussions, but see if somebody flips, like a Paulie or a Silvio.
Yeah, they're going to take him down.
Yeah, how the fuck? Come on, Tony, how are you not going down, man? Absolute filler. Carmela finds Valentina's nail, puts it on Tony's bedside. He finds it. He then goes outside. Oh, guess what? Carmela's been taking his money at the duck seed stuff, and she's been putting it into her own wee bank account. But 9,900, because of course, if you spend 10,000 or more, the IRS are automatically notified. So they're not getting notified. Then they're reading the newspaper. Tony's like, oh, has anyone been in the backyard? No. What about you, Carmela? No. What about you, AJ? No. I'm going to go up to my room. Okay. And then, yeah, they're like, aye, it's all good. Furio also went back to Naples, where he's like, I love her. I love the Don's wife. And his uncle's like, no, your father's dead, amigo. You cannot do
No,
this.
that's his father, isn't it?
No, his father's dead. It was his father's funeral. It was his uncle.
All right, okay.
Depends how much you watch, but...
No, I actually thought it was his father, but...
No, it was his father's funeral. It was his uncle, but... Right.
Why is it, if it's his father's funeral, then why the hell was Paulie talking about, or Silvio talking about Fury's dad having a bag?
He must have died on the flight over or something, but they didn't really do a good job, did they? Honestly...
Are you 100% sure that's his uncle?
I know for a fact, yes.
That's all right.
Because he called him uncle in the subtitles. And he was like, oh, you did what a son does, come to his father's funeral. So.
Right, fair enough.
But, like, right... Obviously not this season, right? I'm not going to lie and say they haven't pretended to build up like tension between Furio and Carmela. But as Furio even said himself this episode, I love her, but she doesn't even know anything. And obviously she thinks the same about him.
I think it's difficult to love someone that you don't spend time with and you don't interact and you don't try to love. I mean, you could admire someone, you could like somebody, maybe you want to be with that person. But like I don't know how. I just don't see how Furio can determine that he loves Carmela just based on the fact that he sits in the kitchen sometimes and waits while Tony's getting ready. Yeah, she might have made it. Maybe she's made him a cup of tea or a coffee or a sandwich. This guy's
pouring his heart out, and Tony's like, "Do you want money?" No, but is Furio and Carmela fantasizing about each other enough as an overarching story for this season? Of fucking course it's not. It'd be different if they actually slept with each other and it's like, holy fuck, is Tony going to find out with this? What's he going to do? And then it would be a case
or even a kiss.
Yeah, but like, what? No, but what's Tony going to do? They're going to be like, you can't do that? All he does is sleep around? Come on, no, this episode fucking sucked, man. And you know what? The show sucks. See for every great iconic scene you get in The Sopranos, there's like 10 other episodes that are mince. I've never seen a show where it can deliver like a 9 out of 10 episode, right? And then like the next episode, nothing. It's like you had, remember this season you had, oh, fuck, Ralph's going to die. Oh, John's going to die. And then the next episode, it's just filler. No, where is like the continuation? This is not weekly television. This is more like, I don't even know what to. I'm going to give this episode a 4, man. It was fucking.
That's exactly what I'm going to give it. 4 out of 10. Just didn't do it for me. I wasn't interested in it.
I think in the later seasons it does become a bit more story orientated. But I mean, we're halfway through season 4. We're probably halfway through the show. Obviously, season 6 got more episodes.
I remember watching it, just thinking, when's this going to end?
Yep, and that's not a good feeling when you watch a TV show. You should be like, oh fuck, I need to see what happens next. You should be saying to me, oh, here, put that show on the back burner. I need to watch the next episode of Sopranos.
And the endings of The Sopranos are just... There's no real... Like, I can't imagine thinking, I can't wait till next week. That was a cliffhanger. What's going to happen next? You very rarely get that in The Sopranos. It's almost like these dead endings.
Yeah.
I think good shows normally end with you needing to see what happens next.
Yep. I don't get it, guys. I just don't get the love for this show. I mean, if you're an Italian American, like, yeah, I can see why you would like it. But it's almost like these people haven't watched this show since it came out, and they're like, they think it's. But then there's other people who's watched it 60 fucking times.
Right,
so.
Let's take extracurricular for a second that we just reviewed. Episode 1 ends with basically his phone about to be stolen and the whole operation about to get leaked. The whole operation up in smoke. Then episode 2 ends with him getting an offer to have a business partner. Like that leads you into the next episode. In Sopranos, it's just it just literally like someone will be talking and then that's it. I'll just finish. It's like mid conversation and the credits start rolling. There's no cliffhanger. There's nothing to leave you on edge leading into the next episode.
No, but when was the last thing in The Sopranos that was like a mega like cliffhanger? Like going back.
It's like I remember a couple of episodes ago where they're in the car and they're talking and I thought the banter was really good, but then it just ended randomly with them in the car.
Aye, how about Columbus?
I mean, it is what it is. I'm getting a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm getting a 4 out of 10. I think when the show wants to be great, it is, but it's almost like I think it's just a case of they think Tony Soprano's bigger than the show and him doing these weird ventures with these women and. But then you've got the stuff with Paulie. Who gives a fuck about his mum not being able to fit in at the Coffin Dodgers reunion? I don't give a fuck.
I think, for me, I think it gets worse every season.
Worse every season?
If someone wants to say 2 is better than 1, I could accept that. And there's definitely some characters that I like that they've introduced that maybe weren't in the earlier seasons. But I just think it's an overall show. I do think it gets worse. I think 1 and 2 has been the best 2 seasons so far. And I think 4 is worse than 3.
Anyway, we could talk all day about this, but I just like TV shows that have a story. What is the story here? There's nothing going.
Most shows, right, would end with something, and then when the next episode begins, whatever it ended with, that's where you want to pick up on, right? You want to find out what happens next. This ending here, what's the talking point? Like, what's the main focus going into the very next episode? It'll probably be some random shit. Now, obviously, the last thing that significantly happened was Tony finding out that his money was missing. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go into the next episode and there's no mention of that.
Yeah, no, but let's not kid ourselves, right? There's $40,000 in the duck feed. See the Tony Soprano? That's peanuts. That's hee-haw. I'm sorry, it is. Like, you watch Sons, right? And see when Juice takes the brick of coke and the cartels come knocking? That's massive. See this 40 grand that's in the duck feed? That doesn't even matter. Well, that's went. That's not a cliffhanger. That's a load of pish.
Right.
I'm just not fucking buying it, man. Honestly, see rewatching it feels like a waste of fucking time. These episodes.
Every episode's long as well. We're not talking like 40-minute episodes here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 4 out of 10, man. Frantic last past 5 minutes. Anyway, up next soon. Next episode, whoever did this, whoever created this needs fucking shot, David Chase. Anyway, peace.